Don't go around thinking of her 1,000 times when you think you see her face in the crowd. Now she's gone, no way of ever knowing. Don't cry for me, don't cry, here's what she'd say. Don't cry for me, don't cry. No more shopping in the hall, only empty spaces. Brand new kitchens, black and white. I feel the house is dying, and I'm inside. Now she's gone, no way of ever knowing. Don't cry for me, don't cry, here's what she'd say. Don't cry for me, don't cry. Every time I think of you, I just break down. I miss you more than I ever could
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday, and I hope that you've had a good start to your week and that Monday was as good as it can be. So the report for the Gremlins tonight, it is quite a clean report really. Nothing much has happened, which always makes me a little bit suspicious as to what might kick off during the live stream. It's usually better when things go wrong before the live stream and then I can sort them out, but we will see what happens tonight. Fingers crossed it'll be fine. I can see you guys in the live chat room, so hello to you. We've got Alison, Domingo, Mary, Charlie, Tammy, Linda, Dawn, Denise, Barbara, Elaine, Laura, Vera, Joe, Dawn, Billy, Debbie, Joy, Anna, Bob's in there as well, and Vera, Charlie, Leslie, PM112, Liz, Laura, Joe, Barbara, Dawn. Hello. I just go through the whole live stream trying to keep up with all of the names, but thank you for joining me. And what I'll do first of all is get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. So a massive shout out to the people whose names go across the bottom of this live stream and every single live stream that we have on the channel, because they make every single live stream, but every video, analysis video, cover video that I've done in the past, they make all of those possible. So thank you guys. You know who you are. And I can see that we've had a few donations already, so thank you guys for those. You don't have to donate. Just watching is great, but I mean, I'll get that up on screen instantly so that you know that you don't have to donate, but if you do, that YouTube take a percentage and PayPal take a percentage. It's a lot different between the two. On YouTube, through the super chat window, they take between 45 and 60%, and on PayPal it's between 3 and 5%. And there's a link in the description below. But like I said, you don't have to donate. This is just for the people that can't resist. So, an important thing we need to get up on screen is the likes goal for tonight, because we are aiming for another new record on a Tuesday night live stream, and it's set at 485. So that's a huge total. We'll see if we can get anywhere near it, anywhere close. If we do hit that target, then we are going to be having Phil Jam number 140. So we'll keep an eye on that. And I can see at the moment that we are at 188 likes. Maybe we can get a spike of the likes going on, because I need to readjust the screen capture software so that we can see it on screen, and we'll wait for a bit of a spike. There we go. So 191 likes so far. If we can get 9 more people, then that'll make the maths very easy for me. And there it is. So we're looking for 285 more people. So yeah, thank you for hitting that thumbs up, and making the maths very easy for me tonight. We'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, Phil Jam number 140. So we're definitely getting through them. There have been quite a few Phil Jams throughout probably the years now, because there definitely aren't 140 weeks in a year. So yeah, we've always got a few years worth of Phil Jams going on for each live stream. But of course we do have to hit the total that we're aiming for in order to have that Phil Jam. So let's keep an eye on it. Moving on with tonight's live stream, I will address the donations in the super chat window, so thank you guys for those. And first of all, it was Paul who donated $5, so thank you for that, Paul. And Paul says 378,000 subscribers. Here we grow again. Let's hit another likes goal tonight. Spike those likes, all y'all rock. So I'm going to have to check my phone, because I thought it was 377,000 subscribers. No, I'm 1,000 behind. It is 378,000. So thank you for that, Paul, because I wouldn't have even thought to have changed this, which I will do now, because that must have been from last time. And it means that when we get this up on screen, it's now going to read correctly. So yeah, thank you everyone for subscribing. And thank you, Paul, for that donation, and letting me know that we are now at 378,000 subscribers, which is great. And I think what might be the problem, especially more recently where the numbers have been increasing quite a lot and quite quickly, when I look at my phone, oh no, everyone stop cheering, that disappears, then they start up again, and then I have to tell them to be quiet. But anyway, when I'm looking at my phone, sometimes the screen is an old screen. When I say that, I mean I haven't refreshed it. So I'll look at my phone and I'll see that it says 377, as it did before the end of this, the beginning of this live stream. And looking at the old unrefreshed screen, it was 377, but then I refresh it and sure enough, we are over 370k, which is amazing. Another ridiculously large number, but we'll keep on pushing forward, see where we end up. But thank you guys all for hitting that subscribe button and hitting the notification bell and all of that cool stuff, so that you do get notified for each video, each live stream. You will need to do that, hit that notification bell in order to get those. So we will keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. I think I just saw the circle loading on my screen, so I don't know whether I'm going to keep an eye on the screen, and I should still be in ultra low latency mode, which means that when I say something, you guys see it quite quickly. So it means that at least I can see if the stream isn't working, if it isn't loading very quickly, then I'll be able to see it closer to when it happens, rather than taking a very long time to see it. But anyway, yes, thank you guys for all of the support, joining me on the live streams as well, because this is great not only that I get to talk to you in a live setting, but I can let everybody know about this Telegram thing. I had another email today from somebody asking me about Telegram, and that they'd installed it and they were trying to message me and they couldn't work it out. But that's all a scam. So please don't use Telegram, or even, I don't know what it is, but if you do use it, I'm not on it. So yeah, just avoid anything on YouTube telling you to go to Telegram if it's imitating me or any other channels that you might watch, because it is all over the place. They take your profile picture and pretend to be you. But as I've said in live streams and a few videos in the past, that my username has a tick next to it. So always look for that tick next to Wings of Pegasus, and it's spelt exactly as it sounds. Wings of Pegasus, with no dodgy, underscore or special character things going on. So yeah, just keep your eye out for anything like that. I do try and remove any of those comments as soon as I see them and block the profile from the channel, but I think it's a scam bot, which means it just generates itself again with a different username. So yes, just to make sure people know that I don't go on Telegram, and if you get contacted by what looks like me asking you to go on Telegram, it's definitely not me. So anyway, yes, thank you, Paul, for that. And Vicky has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Vicky. And it says, keep it up. And I had a little bit of loading there again. So we'll keep on pushing through it, because now it seems to be like I'm smooth again. So anyway, yeah, thank you for that, Vicky. The message is keep it up, with the pear man doing bicep curls and also knee lifts by the look at it. Well, if pears have knees, that's what he's attempted to do. Or maybe it's a she, or maybe it's a he or she or it or they, or whatever they want to be referred to as. I don't know what pears like to be called. So it looks like a pear to me, but it's Vicky's first donation in that super chat window. So thank you for that, because there's a big number 1 next to it. So thank you as well to Tolo Porco, who has donated $5. And the message is a shout out to your beautiful and elegant sister who appears in your videos. So thank you for that. And she doesn't appear in all of my videos, just that one. So yeah, just randomly appeared in that one because I just needed something to go with the song, and just one day had my flip HD video camera, which is a really old camera now, probably just doesn't work, but it's very useful because you'd film on it and then you just plug it into the computer via USB and then it would work. So yeah, you'd instantly get all of the video files onto the computer, which was great. But yeah, just randomly filmed her one day while we were going. It was somebody's birthday, because we went out for a meal somewhere, and she just said, "Oh, why are you filming me?" And I said, "Oh, I'm going to do a video." But of course, she's used to that kind of behaviour from me, just totally random. So yeah, that's my sister in that video. There have been donations over on PayPal as well, so thank you guys for those. And I just want to make sure that I don't actually miss any of them. So let me go back to where I think we were at the end of the last live stream. And the next one to come through has come through from Roseanne for £5. So thank you for that, Roseanne. And the message is, hi Phil, how do different woods affect the sound of a guitar? Do some woods produce a fuller tone than others? Do you have a favourite wood for your guitars? Thanks. So thank you for that, Roseanne. And I mean, generally, I would say that this is probably a question for an acoustic guitar player rather than, I mean, I do play acoustic guitar, but I'm very much more of a, due to my taste in music, very much more a hard rock kind of electric guitar kind of guy, and blues and rock, and yeah, playing an electric guitar. So the wood on an electric guitar isn't as important because it's the pickups that are going to be really doing the work for you to amplify the sound. But with acoustic guitars, yeah, again, with, I know mahogany is a very popular wood to use from what I've read. It's, again, I don't have lots of different acoustic guitars, so I'm not really somebody that can say, oh, right, well, this guitar, I played that for years and it gave me that tone. Then I got another guitar and that was, maybe rosewood, and that gave me a totally different tone. So yeah, you'd have to ask somebody who's really played a lot of acoustic, and a lot, maybe a folk artist or someone who is all about their acoustic guitars. But yeah, mahogany seems to be a very popular one for, I think, the mid-range and the low end, and getting a warmer kind of tone. But yeah, rosewood as well, very popular, of course, and maple. So yeah, I'm sure that you can look up online all the pros and cons of the different types of woods, and what they can give you if you're into that kind of thing. Generally, I mean, I've never really I've never bought a guitar because of the wood it's made from. I've always played the guitar and listened to it, and whatever the sound is, if I like the sound, then I get the guitar. So yeah, that's the way that I work, really. I'm all about the final result, however that may be achieved. Whatever's been done, whatever's been used in order to get that tone that I like, then I will buy it, rather than trying to look at the manufacturing process first, or what kind of woods have been used. But this is the other thing, that when talking about rosewood and different woods that have been used to make guitars, and in the current day we've got restrictions on woods, to save forests and stop chopping down trees and all that kind of stuff. There's now restrictions, and a lot of companies have stopped making guitars out of particular woods because of a shortage. But just over, I don't know what it's called, like over collecting. There's a fancy word for that, but my brain went along the lines of when you have overfishing, where they basically ruin the population of a particular kind of fish, because all the humans are it's the same thing, humans fishing and humans cutting down too many trees. So making it all sustainable, all that kind of stuff. Nowadays, with companies, it's like, even if you said, right, I want this particular wood for my guitar, they might say, well, we don't use that wood anymore, so we use this equivalent, which will give us a similar kind of sound. And I'm trying to think in the back of my mind whether Fender have stopped using rosewood. I don't know whether that's a fact or not, or whether you can type that into Google. But Fender stopped using a particular kind of wood in 2018 or something like that. So you can look that up on Google if you want to, but just to show the fact that companies and big companies have moved away from particular types of wood because of environmental reasons, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, thank you for that, Roseanne. I can't really answer that with any form of, I don't know, authority, not being an exclusive kind of acoustic player myself, and having played electric. I started playing on acoustic when I was like 11 or 12. So at that point, I certainly wasn't looking into the wood or the kind of wood that it was made from. I was just trying to get it to make a noise. But anyway, thank you for that, Roseanne. And Nicole has donated £10 as well. So thank you for that, Nicole. And the message is, hello, Phil. I see Eric Clapton gives some concerts in England, Liverpool, Newcastle. Eric, 80 years old. Now it's in good shape. Maybe you see him in last concert at London. Have good time, Phil. Kiss and rock always. So thank you for that. And I mean, that's great that Eric's getting out there again and performing. And I think people already know what I'm thinking about seeing videos of Eric performing, because I made one where the production team had really heavily pitch corrected Eric's voice, and it was very much over the top, to the point of sounding like auto-tune. So I wasn't a big fan of that. So I'm hoping that isn't done to any videos of the performance. And I think Eric certainly won't be using auto-tune live, but it's something that the production crew for some reason want to add in afterwards for them people watching it. So as for going and watching him, as with everything in my life, it's just having the time to go and do it. If I had the time, then it's probably something that I would do. But I'm just trying to keep on top of everything at the moment with the increasing subscriber count. And certainly yesterday's admin day was a bit of a long haul because of the amount of emails and messages and things to get through, because my email address from my website, I've got emails that come through the website. I've also got emails that come through YouTube, where people look up the email address that's for business inquiries only, but they message me all of their requests on that, even though technically that's for the emails about, I don't know, sponsored videos and that kind of stuff. Not that I do those, but sometimes media and all that kind of stuff will use that email to get in touch with me. So so through that side of things, even the YouTube emails, certainly yesterday were a bit over the top with the amount that I was getting through, and they weren't business related. So I have to kind of work my way through that. And obviously the ones coming through to my website aren't business related either, but I do get quite a lot of those coming through as well. And there are messages. I don't really do much on Instagram, but of course my Patreon messages, I answer those every night as well. And I'm thinking of maybe moving my message answering to the mornings or the afternoons rather than the evenings, because sometimes I'll start answering some messages at maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the morning, and then it's either 5 or 6 and I still haven't finished yet, and I feel like I've got to finish everything every day, so then the next day it doesn't roll over and now I'm under a mountain of emails and messages that I can't get to the end or I can't get to the end of to then start the next day afresh. So I'll probably start just doing them a little bit earlier on in the day, just because the amount of them. But this is to be expected with the subscriber count increasing so quickly. It just means more messages and more things to keep up with. But thank you for that, Nicole. And there's been another donation. This has come through from Richard, and Richard has donated £25. So thank you for that, Richard. And that is a straight up donation. And there's another one that's come through from Robin for £50. So thank you for that, Robin. And that is a straight up donation as well, without a message. And Steve has donated £5. Thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, what are some basic moves / tricks guitarists use to make themselves look flashier? So thank you for that, Steve. And of course, when you say about looking flashier, immediately what sprang to mind for me was like wearing, I don't know, glitter or something on your clothing to flash in the light. But I know what you mean. So basic techniques, but I think anything that you try to do on the guitar, there isn't a technique, I'd say, that makes you sound amazing and it's really easy to do, because even the most basic technique needs practice in order to get better at it. So I'd say to begin with, probably hammer-ons and pull-offs is something that you might want to spend a bit of time on in terms of being able to speed up your playing. That's certainly the first thing that I think a lot of people advise, and certainly I would advise as a guitar teacher in order to work at that. So yes, I'm just seeing, Christine says, Phil, you need a PA. Personal assistant. Yeah, I was thinking of a public address system because I thought maybe the mic wasn't working. So PA. So somebody to do that kind of stuff. Yes. The problem is, as I've said before, that the questions and emails that I get are so specific that it's really difficult, because the personal assistant would just have to give them to me anyway. Like, somebody asking me about, even just in this live stream, if we go back to, questions about, Steve's question, but also about, woods making guitars sound different. I get questions about pedals and strings and, guitar techniques. So the personal assistant would have to be me with my knowledge base to be able to answer that question. So that's the problem. Because all that would happen would be that the PA would say, I don't know the answer to this personally, so I'll have to get Phil's answer, in which case they'd then ask me, what is the answer to this question? And I'd have to tell them what the answer is, but I might as well kind of do it myself. So this is the problem, that they are emails that are very specific with their questions. And the other thing is people asking me whether I've done a video on one artist or a band, and I know the videos that I've done. So when they ask me, I can say, oh yes, I did that video, and it's probably 3 months ago or 5 months ago or 3 years ago. And yeah, it means that I know that straight away rather than a PA having to go and try and look it up. And sometimes it's really difficult to find because I've been doing it for so many years. So yeah, it's quite difficult. But anyway, yes, with basic moves, tricks guitarists use to make themselves look flashier. So, I mean, I might grab the guitar, but I don't know whether... If I turn on the microphone... Oh, it's the gem that's out tonight. So, yeah, if I turn on the microphone, it might give this weird kind of echoey sound to it. So it might sound like I'm now in a cave, but this is just set up for the fill jam later on if we hit the target. So if you can hit that thumbs up, that would be massively appreciated, because we are aiming for 485 likes tonight, and we're currently at 318. So we've made quite a good dent in that target. Oh, by the way, we have a vote for the cover video later on going on, and that's between Parisian Walkways and Hero, because I can see that Hero has 52% of the vote, and that is Hero, the Chad Kroeger version from the Spider-Man movie. I didn't actually know that it was anything to do with the Spider-Man movie, but there you go. So that is going to be my version of either that song or Parisian Walkways. You can have your vote on either of those. So anyway, what are we doing? Tricks or moves, guitarists, to make themselves look flashier. Well, talking about literally a move, I've mentioned before about where Slash gets his guitar up like this and he looks flashier. But now, the point that I've mentioned before is that by doing this, it means that now you get a wider stretch over the fretboard. So he might have a particular run that he plays where he needs to get that stretch. So it isn't really that, and I've got small hands, so I should really be playing the guitar like this my whole life. But when he wants to get a particular stretch in, he'll get the guitar up there, and it makes it easier to play rather than having the guitar down really low. And sometimes, and most of the time, he's got the guitar really low. So the stretch isn't really as easy. But when you then kind of move the angle, it makes it easier. So that's literally a move that will make you look flashier, but also has a practical application. The other thing was, it's kind of hammer-ons and pull-offs. So if I'm in, we are distorted here, but actually, I'll keep a bit of the distortion on, because when you're doing a hammer-on and pull-off, it means that you don't have to pick the string when you're getting the note. So if I played an open A, and I haven't done anything here apart from a hammer-on, which is pushing onto the string with a bit of force and getting the note. Ideally, you want the note to sound at the same level as your pick, rather than do that where you're too soft on the string. You've kind of, it's called a hammer on, so you've got to try and kind of get that hammer on to be effective in getting that note. So and what you can do, you can kind of practice with it, and once you've done the hammer on, you can then do a pull off, and then you get the sound. So that's, actually, I'm kind of trying to exaggerate it here, because to begin with, you'll want to push down and away. So it's like you're kind of pulling off that string, but almost keeping contact with the fretboard in order to get a strong sound from it. But when you start kind of getting used to it, it'll become more natural, and the pull-off will just be a subtle, rather than exaggerating like that and bending the string, you'll be able to do it a lot more subtly. And this is where, if you are working at hammer-ons and pull-offs, you might want to do, I'm just going to turn it to clean, you might want to You might want to kind of work through it that way, so that when you're getting an even sound with a clean tone. So then you know that when you're playing anything, or like that, hammer on, pull off, and even there, if I want to do a hammer on, I'm on a clean tone, but you can still hear what I'm playing. I'm not doing it too softly that you won't be able to hear, and that, you know, that works for kind of tapping as well with your other hand. If I'm going and I tap onto the guitar, you want your tap to sound the same or have the same kind of volume. So yeah, I mean, playing on a clean tone, practicing on a clean tone is a really good thing, I think, to do, to get all of your techniques sounding how you want them to. So then when you do add any distortion or anything, then the technique's already fundamentally strong. Because the danger can be when you're playing with lots of distortion, say that this is the sound that you're going with, there's so much distortion on there, I don't really have to do anything with that hammer on. So you could maybe fall into the trap of playing with distortion, and then as soon as you start to play on a clean tone, you realise, oh, why are my hammer-ons and pull-offs now silent? I can't hear them at the same level. So yeah, once you kind of build it up from that basic point, then you've got that kind of thing, which is where you can hammer on and pull off, and you know, gradually kind of speed it up, and that, you know, you can do it kind of all over the place if you want to. So yeah, that's hammer-ons and pull-offs. I'd say that you can hear just by me doing that, I'm not kind of having to go, I'm not having to pick it all the time. So it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier technique to do something that kind of sounds a little bit faster. So yeah, that would be my kind of, but then, yeah, I don't know, turn this live streaming into a guitar lesson, but there are so many things that, yeah, you can do. I remember when I learned to do a unison bend like that was like, I don't know, it blew my mind, especially when I went, I don't know why that I liked that sound so much, but then as well, you know, just doing that and then doing it separately. And then, you know, I realised, oh right, that's what Chuck Berry's doing with his playing. That was the technique. But then also when you, I mean, this is just about lead technique really. When you're borrowing that first finger and you've got these two, you can I'll turn it down, take some of the gain off, so that. So now you've got access to doing something that sounds faster, but you're not really having to do anything. And this is the other thing, that people, when they're trying to build up their speed with that, doing a bend and doing a full bend, like a tone bend, you don't actually have to do that because your brain will fill in the gaps. So if I'm going and I'm going and kind of exaggerating it here, but and doing a full bend all the time, that bend takes time. Whereas if I went, I can now speed it up because I'm not bending, I'm just going, I'm just kind of doing a little bend with that. Because you're resolving it to that B, it means that your brain kind of just fills in the gaps that, you know, it just sounds as it should, even though technically we've got a note that's between notes. We're kind of 50 cents between where we should be here and here. We're kind of in there, but like that. And that's where, and then you can start throwing in, again, because we're barring, hammer-ons, pull-offs. And those are both hammer-ons and pull-offs. Like that. And this is the kind of thing that you know, Jimi Hendrix would do. You know, he'd kind of just throw in around a little bit of that, you know, just a hammer on and a pull off now and again, and it's so subtle that you'll just hear that kind of drift off into space. It's such a really cool sound. But that's hammer-ons and pull-offs. So that is what I'd say is a move that you can, or trick. It's not really a trick. You still got to work at the technique. This is why I say, build it up on a clean tone. Because somebody trying to do hammer-ons and pull-offs who hasn't worked at them, and they might be going and you can't really hear what's going on, and they're doing loads of movement. You've still got to work at it. You've still got to practice to make it to sound good. I don't think there's really anything that is like a cheat that somebody's doing something and it's like, oh wow, they're so amazing at guitar, because people that do play the guitar will be able to hear any, I guess, fault in the technique or something that they're not really they haven't really mastered the technique. But anyway, thank you for that, Steve. Right, and it looks like we're going to be keeping the guitar out just in case anything else pops up. So Tammy has donated £10 as well, so thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 378,000 subscribers. What was your best golf score and what was the course like? Rock. So thank you for that. And my best golf score was 84. Well, that was the lowest score that I got. So what you have is the par for the course is 72. That's the amount of shots that you're supposed to be allowed, and that's called like even par. Anything you get under that is like minus something. So that's what all the professionals can do. I mean, some of them, the leaders are always minus, but then further down the leaderboard you'll see like even par and 1 over, 2 over, 3 over, 4 over, 5 over, all that kind of stuff. So my score would have been technically 12 over for the course, but it was on the course was a championship course, which means that it's not really easy. It means it's actually quite difficult. So I was quite happy with that 84, and I did the 84 twice. I also did an 85. I also did an 86. I also did an 87. I also did an 88. So I was quite consistent with my scoring and gradually getting it down. And that was before my arm then kind of gave up the ghost. So that was my lowest score. And I don't know, I could probably do, if I get back to golf in the future at some point, I think I might be able to improve, because obviously I improved when I started to kind of play regularly. So that was my best golf score. And the course was a course that it's a bit annoying because there are lots of holes where the green, which is where the flag is surrounded by bunkers or has water mostly surrounding it. So you've got to hit it up in the air and land it on the green. And there are lots of golf courses that aren't like that, where you can just effectively hit it along the ground up to the green, and it's really easy. You don't have to worry about hitting it up in the air and getting it to land softly and all that kind of stuff. So for me that 84 was a good score, but at least I did it a couple of times, so I know that it wasn't a fluke, and that maybe I could do it again in the future, but who knows. Anyway, thank you for that, Tammy. And Debbie has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Debbie. And the message is, hi Phil, congrats on 378,000 subscribers. Great job on the Highwayman analysis video. I enjoyed Willie's solo, and thanks for busting out the guitar and demonstrating what he was doing. You're amazing. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. And for that one I had to bust out the guitar, and from memory, we had that kind of approach of arpeggiating the chord, which, Willie did, which is, I think he kind of played along those lines in A. But it's really interesting the way that he approached it. But I think that video mostly was requested because of the application of pitch correction on the vocals. Again, just really overdone. So it's a bit of a shame that it was, a little bit ruined from that vocal perspective, but at least the guitar wasn't pitch corrected. So Sabine has donated £20 as well, so thank you for that, Sabine. And that is a straight up donation. And Evan has donated £50 and 54 pence, so thank you for that, Evan. And there's a message here. It says, keep up the awesome work, Phil. Totally agree with picking up a guitar, and if it sounds good and somehow connects with me in tone, playability, really appreciate your insight, humility, and stellar knowledge. Cheers! So thank you for that, Evan. And yeah, I think there's always, even for genetics, the size of your hand, all this kind of stuff, there'll be particular guitars that appeal to certain people. And same for the sound. Somebody might love the sound of a guitar, and then somebody else might not love that sound. And somebody else will say, and I've had this before because I used to work in a guitar shop. Somebody say, "Oh, Phil, you got to try out this. We just got in, some new Takaminis or whatever, and they're like £1,500, £2,000." I say, "Oh, you got to have a go on it." And I'd play it, and I think, "What? This isn't very nice." And then I'd play like a £300 Yamaha, and I think, "Oh, this is really nice." So yeah, there's so much in it that's a personal thing to you. There will be some guitars that you just like the way that they play, and it's not really the way the guitar's playing, it's the way that you're playing suits that particular guitar, however it's been made. And even down to the wood that's used, but also the cutaway behind the neck, all of these tiny details that make the fretboard more accessible. If you've got smaller hands, when you play an acoustic that has more cutaway from the neck, you feel, "Oh, I can actually get around this." And you get some guitars like classical guitars, for example, are just like a huge chunk of like a tree trunk playing. So this is why trying to get your thumb over the top if you are playing any kind of contemporary stuff is very difficult, even though I can reach over a classical guitar with my thumb, because I think my thumb's just a bit longer than it should be. But this is why you'll always see the classical technique of having the thumb behind the guitar, because there's so much behind the guitar, kind of wood-wise, that actually getting a grip of the whole neck is very difficult. You've got to have huge hands in order to do that, and I don't have huge hands, but classical players are always focusing on technique and getting that perfect fretting angle and position. But anyway, thank you for that, Evan. And Karen has donated £3.77, so thank you for that. And the message is, "Hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 378,000 subscribers. When you hit 400,000 subs, do you fancy a little celebration? I believe you deserve it. By the way, in 2020, Fender announced they'd stopped using ashwood in making guitars except for vintage models. Many thanks for all you do. Cheers, Karen." So thank you for that. So maybe that's some bit of knowledge that I had in the back of my head that I didn't realise. But yes, ashwood, rosewood. Yeah, I can't remember. There's something in the back of my head that's saying about rosewood. But anyway, thank you for that. Vera has donated £18.86. So thank you for that, Vera. And the message is, "Phil, just a little gift from our hard-working creator and host. Much respect for all you do. Big hugs, Vera." So thank you for that. And Tracy has donated £5. Thank you for that, Tracy. And the message is, "You should do a throwback live stream with your ball cap and a ponytail like in your old riff of the week videos." So thank you for that. And yeah, the riff of the weeks I used to do on a Sunday night, and I just pick up my guitar and play a riff. So that's how they worked. So it wasn't really a lot of planning going into it. So if I just happen to have a hat on, I generally do wear a cap all the time. My nephews always say, "Oh, Uncle Phil, why do you always wear a hat?" And they're always taking it off my head, of course, and then running around and wearing it. But yeah, it's just because it's so much quicker to put a hat on rather than, you can see that my hair at the moment, it's too long. So I need a haircut, and I've had to try and get some real estate in the middle to actually be able to see. This bit of hair is kind of getting my eyes. But yeah, I've had to try and brush it out the way to actually see anything. But when you've got a cap on, it doesn't matter how long your fringe is either, because you can just put the cap over the top of it, and it kind of solves it. So yeah, caps are a lot easier, and yeah, just put my hair in a ponytail. What I did notice was that when I saw the feed for the live stream, I realised how long my hair actually was. That if I straightened it, it would be like all the way down to there. So yeah, even though I know people watching this will think, "What, you've only just noticed that your hair's long?" But no, I mean comparatively long. This, yeah, it's definitely very long. So I need a haircut, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll keep these bits long. It's just the fringe that always blinds me. But anyway, thank you for that, Tracy. Right, there have been some donations in the super chat window, so thank you for that. And by the way, we're looking for 83 more people to hit that thumbs up. So if you could do that before the end of the live stream, that would be amazing. We will have a fill jam. Well, already got the guitar out, but we'll keep the guitar out and have a jam. See what happens with the track number 140. So yeah, if you can hit that thumbs up, that would be great. Right. Let me get into... I could just see that it was loading again, so maybe there are some weird YouTube issues at the moment. But yeah, I was just saying, if you could hit that thumbs up, would be great. We'll get up to maybe 485 by the end of the live stream. That will be a new record, by the way. So we'll keep an eye on that. I was just about to work that out. So it was going to be 473... No, 73 more people. Yeah, 400. I was thinking 473 means that's what it would be. 485 take away whatever the number was, and it's changing. So anyway, it means that we're looking for more people. If you could hit the thumbs up, that would be great. I'll quit with the maths because I think I got it right in the first place, and I'll just dig a hole that I won't be able to get out of. But yeah, I suppose if we get another one person, then it's going to be 470, which is, 415 plus 70 is 485. So we're looking for 70 more people to hit the thumbs up. And that's a line. That's enough maths for tonight. Oh, but the good thing is, I saw that there was about to be an advert, so I skipped it. Right. Getting back into the super chat window, we've had a donation from Orlando's donated $2, so thank you for that, Orlando. And the message is, have we hit the thumbs up button? Hit it. So good advice there from Orlando. If you can hit that thumbs up, it'd be massively appreciated. Even if you're watching this in the future on catch up, you can still hit that thumbs up. It really does help the channel to grow and for this live stream to get out there on the whole. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that likeometer. 418 at the moment. Zenman1001 has donated $10, so thank you for that. And this is Zenman's fifth super chat window donation, so thank you for that, because there's a big number 5 next to it, and the message is, many thanks for the superb vocal analysis videos. It was your guitar analysis videos which first attracted me to the channel. Any chance of adding those back into the programming mix going forward? So thank you for that. And yeah, I mean, the last one we had on the Highwayman, I got out the guitar and demonstrated different techniques, even though that was kind of a pitch correction video, but I thought I'd point out some of the things going on the fretboard. So yes, I'm still getting the guitar out, and it's just whatever's been requested on my list. I just work my way through them, and sometimes they are just singers that we're looking at, so I can't really get the guitar out to demonstrate anything that they're doing because they're just using their voice. But yeah, if anything does pop up and there's any guitar playing that people have asked for me to check out and explain things about, then yeah, I will do that as well. So this is the thing, and I think a lot of people maybe think that I'm just doing the videos and choosing it myself and giving myself the question of what to look at in the video. But with particular videos, I get a request, and somebody might say, for example, on that Highwayman video, they say, have the vocals been manipulated? Have they been changed? So that's how I approach that analysis video. So I then answer that question. And like I said, I did get the guitar out on that one, but sometimes people will say, what is this guitarist doing in this particular performance? So then for that analysis video, I will have the guitar. So yeah, if you want to have a particular song or guitarist analyzed, then yeah, just put it in the comments section of a YouTube video on my channel, and I will add that to the list. So yeah, I just work my way through it, and it just so happens probably that there are a lot of requests for vocalists as to how accurate they are, but also the vocalists that are being pitch corrected, and especially older performances. I know that people message me a lot asking me, please tell me whether this performance has been pitch corrected or not, because it might be from before digital pitch correction was even a thing, and it then has been pitch corrected, when it's been re-uploaded in like 2015 or something. So I do get a lot of questions about that as well. But Anyway, thank you for that, Zen Man. And Orlando donated $2 again. And Orlando says Zach Wild plays his guitar in an upright position. So thank you for that, Orlando. Right. Oh, it's just gone 10 to midnight here. So we're going to be jumping into what looks like... Well, if Hero wins this vote, when's the last time we saw this cover video? I have no idea, but it looks like it was close. Hero had 50% of the vote, which means it was 50 point something, and Parisian Walkways had 49 point something. So thank you guys for voting for Hero as tonight's... I don't know why I said it like that, but Hero as tonight's cover video. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you after. Rock!
I am so high, I can hear heaven. I'm so high, I can hear heaven. But heaven, no heaven, don't hear me. They say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. Hold on to the wings of the eagles and watch as they all fly away. Someone told me love will all save us. But how can that be? Look what love gave us. A world full of killing, blood spilling, that would never came. They say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. Hold on to the wings of the eagles and watch as they all fly away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now that the world isn't ending, it's love that I'm sending to you. It isn't the love of a hero, and that's why I fear it won't do. They say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. Hold on to the wings of the eagles. Watch as they all fly away. They're watching us. They're watching us as we all fly away. They're watching us. They're watching us as we all fly away. They're watching us. They're watching us as we all fly away. Whoa.
And there we have it. That was my version of Hero, and that's from the Spider-Man movie, and that's Chad Kroger that did that particular song. But anyway, right, I've put the guitar away. We are looking for 40 more people to hit that thumbs up, and this is going to be a bit of a race to the finish to see if we can hit the Lights Goal target for tonight. 485. It would be a new record, but at some point, we've been getting a new record week after week after week, and probably month after month over the last couple of months, maybe few months. So it does have to end sometime, and it might be tonight. that is when we finish our run of hitting new likes goals. So 485, yeah, if you can hit that thumbs up, that would be great. And if you want to get involved over on Facebook, I haven't mentioned that tonight either, that you can head over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. Join in with that. That's where a lot of these lovely people in the live chat room hang out between live streams. So I did see the messages about the purple lights, by the way, when that video was playing, that they haven't been on for the live stream so far, but they are on now. So there we go. Everything is as it should be. And the other thing, now this is going to be a bit difficult because the fill jam tonight would be 7 minutes and 37 seconds in length. So it means that we'd have to start it in 7 minutes time. So it means that we've got 7 minutes to try and find what's that, 25 more people. We've got 7 minutes versus 25 people. So we'll see if we get 25 people into the live chat room before the end of 7 minutes. If you can do that thumbs up, that would be massively appreciated. We do have, I didn't mention this, we do have a troll corner tonight, and it's only one thing that I can remember. It's because it happened a little bit earlier, but let's jump into troll corner and see what's going on. So I'm going to have to try and find this on my phone. I know it's on here somewhere. And it's only going to be one troll corner for tonight because, yeah, I think we've been quite lucky recently. I think we're quite lucky in general on the channel. Anyway, but here we go. This was, on the AI generated song or songs that I was listening to, the first songs that I'd ever heard from AI, where you just type in keywords and it will come up with a song from those keywords. So yeah, I was just kind of listening to that and explaining a few things, and this person said, "Who are you to judge with your fake amp?" The Line 6 Spider. So this is the amp behind me, by the way. It all has started with mimicking the real deal tube amp and will end with replacing the amp and the artist with a digital artist. So that was the comment for tonight's Troll Corner. And so basically, if you don't know, tube amps are like old school where, yeah, I mean, Griff, who long viewers of the channel will know, who's in my band many years ago now, but yeah, he always had his tube amp, and the problem with them is that if he were to drop one, then it would be an absolute nightmare because, yeah, you don't even want to go there. But the valves in the amp, yeah, they would, you know, they're like light bulbs. So if he dropped it, it would smash and it would be an absolute nightmare. So anyway, having the valves, well, like the tube amps, the valve amps, you know, back in the day, you know, the longer they were on, the more they'd kind of warm up, and you know, they'd say, oh, you know, the tone gets warmer the longer that the amp's on. And I think Griff had a JCM 2000, I think. But anyway, away from the details, but then you have transistor amps, which do away with the valves and the problems of needing to replace them all the time, because it's making a digital version of it, effectively. If you try and imagine it as being like analog and digital, and the same kind of thing that happens with emulating pedals, but software as well, where it's emulating, meaning it's pretending to be something that it isn't, but trying to copy the sound. So that's what I found with my Line 6 amp, that when I started playing it, I thought, hang on, this tone sounds really good, but it's a transistor amp. So of course I thought, well, of course it's going to make sense to use a transistor amp, especially for gigging, when you're carrying your gear around and people that, you know, in other bands and even people in the venue are kicking, you know, you might have your amp head on the ground and somebody kicks it and you think, oh yeah, thanks for that. But with a transistor amp, it doesn't matter so much. It can get quite beaten up and still work perfectly well. So anyway, this person saying about, oh, how can I say anything because I've got a transistor amp? That's what he meant by saying the line 6 Spider. And then I replied and said, yeah, I know what you mean, because there are all these classical guitarists now who are using nylon strings instead of gut strings, what they used to use. So I kind of, was a little bit sarcastic with my response that like gut strings, I think the most common were cattle. So you'd use cattle intestines as your strings before nylon was a material that existed. So that's what they used to use. So it's effectively saying that why are guitarists now not using animal guts? Why have they moved on to this fake material that they've now created? And it's just the same thing. And I also said that everybody knows that when you're playing nylon strings, you don't need to be able to play or have the ability anymore, because the nylon strings do it all for you. So it is like AI. You don't have to learn to do it anymore, which of course is just me being sarcastic, but that's my view of it, that the gear that you're using, you still need the ability to play the guitar, whether you're playing through a transistor amp, a valve amp, an emulator, whatever you're doing, you're still playing the instrument. But with pitch correction, auto tune, I've said before, it's like you're not really having to worry about where you're putting your fingers on your guitar anymore, because it'll snap, or it will change the notes. Like with pitch correction, it will change the notes you're playing into the correct notes for you. So yeah, that's kind of the way that I see it. But anyway, yeah, it was a bit of a sarcastic response. But I don't understand these people's or their point of view, that I think you can use whatever you want. If you're creating the sound yourself with your ability, then anything you add to that is just going to embellish it. But the fundamental point is you've got to have the ability to begin with. So anyway, I can see that we have hit 485. We're at 493 now. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. We are going to be jumping into tonight's Phil Jam. Then in that case, let's get out of Troll Corner for a start. See you guys in a second. Now, I have forgotten that I left on the mic from earlier, so it might sound like I'm in a bit of a cave, but that was from demonstrating things on the guitar. So let's grab this again. And by the way, that means we have hit a new record for a Tuesday night live stream, so thank you guys for that. I feel like I'm sat in totally the wrong position, like my chair's in all the wrong place for this, but we'll just have to deal with it. I almost ran over my own toe with my chair. Right, because it's got wheels on the chair. So, anyway, this is Phil Jam number 140. And let me click on it. And I also always have to mute the advert. Skip this. This is deep, atmospheric, melodic rock backing track in E minor. And this is from YT Jam Tracks, and that's YT in capital letters. So we know that this is already on, and yeah, I should have read what Joe put there, but anyway, I just clicked on it. I was in a bit of a panic, and as for the levels, it's always a bit of a guessing game. If you guys can let me know in the live chat room, that would be good. Oh, zoom out. Get the controller. There we go. We are zoomed out. We are ready to go. As for these strings, have got to snap at some point in a live stream. Phil Jam, they will, but I don't know. And it's a Floyd Rose bridge, which means that the tuning is dependent on the tension of the strings. So if one of them snaps, it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be game over. But we will listen to this. I'll just let it play because it's 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes. And if you can let me know what the... Oh, got some bass going on here. If you can let me know what the levels are like, that would be good. Looks like levels are okay. Shame. It's a little bit kind of out of. If it's good for you guys, it's good. For me, the levels are a little bit wonky. It's also a shame I've got to adjust my whammy bar at some point because it's really loose. But we'll keep on playing through and see what happens. far. Okay, got a few minutes left. Try a little bit of this. Still, that's alright. waiting for it to kind of end. That's the end. The reason that I said yes is because I put all of my eggs in one basket and did this long kind of rundown, and I was exactly right with where the ending happened, which is amazing, especially after, 7.5 minutes. So I think that's the first time I've ever correctly predicted to the bar where a backing track's going to end, considering that the backing track is entirely random. So there is a lot to be said, though, for the way that a backing track is put together, because you kind of start to get the vibe as to where it's going to, or at least start to get the endings. Starting the ending, basically, is what you're listening out for. And that worked out well. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And there have been a couple of extra donations. It is Orlando who donated $5. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, that sounded like a mix of Queensryche and Dokken with Dream Theater and Avenged Sevenfold mixed in. So thank you for that. Yeah, lots of different influences there. Walden, or different bands, Walden donated $20 as well. So thank you for that, and says, you are amazing. So thank you for the kind words. And that's the Pearman doing some dancing. And I think there's another donation over on PayPal, actually, and this has come through from Robin for £11.31. So thank you for that, Robin. And the message is, thank you, music is life, keep up the good work. So thank you for that, and I will try my best. So we are going to be calling things to a close now, and thank you guys for ensuring that we got all of the thumbs up and had a fill jam, but also got a new record for tonight's live stream. New record for a Tuesday night. I'm going to be live streaming on Saturday night, as always, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. That's the place to be. And if you can make it, that would be great, because we'll be going for another new record for a Saturday night live stream. And we're going to be going for a new record next Tuesday as well. So if everybody else can turn up again, that'd be great. And then hopefully we can get the thumbs up and have another fill jam next week as well as Saturday. So yes, all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your week. And I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!